It's finally the fall season. The leaves are changing color. It's finally hot chocolate season. And
I'm going to have to stop you right there. Before you say anything else, please tell me that the third thing is everyone's favorite pastime.
baseball?
No, although that's mine. I'm talking about one of the most popular sports, and it's even starting to go international.
Oh, wait. You must be talking about football. They've been traveling all over the globe.
Finally, it took you long enough. One of the most action-packed sports has taken over households across the nation. And on a more local level, nothing around the building has been the topic of conversation more than the Pirates out on the turf.
Well, Jake, for good reason. They've looked dominant to start the season, and not to keep you all waiting any further, welcome to Season 8, Episode 2 of Sports Talk.
Today we take a deeper dive into all things Mepham Football, a recap of their season so far, a look into their upcoming potential playoff run, and much more. I'm Jake Maxwell.
And I'm Jake Manno. Let's jump right into the current standings. We're at the end of the season. The boys are standing at 6-1 towards the top of their conference, and as they look to make some noise in the playoff. So tell me, from what you've seen so far, what are your key takeaways?
So far my key takeaways on the season for this Mepham Pirates team that's gone 6-1 is definitely their defense and their ability to have shutouts in 5 out of their 7 games. You know, their offense has been great being led by Owen Heller, but they don't win these games without their defense shutting these teams out. You know, beating a great MacArthur team 20-0, shut out from the defense there. You know, having a hard-fought game against Calhoun, didn't get a shutout on that one, but kept them to, I think it was 7 points. So, you know, it's definitely been the defense for me, led by guys like Steven Sewell on that defensive line and middle linebacker like a James Quilty.
I mean, there's a lot of senior presence, as you said. Almost all of their starters are seniors, and I think that's the difference from last year to this year. I mean, for the last 4 years, the Pirates have been a powerhouse in this conference. Last year was the only outlier, and this year they're starting to get things back on track. You had the Dom Novello-led Pirates a couple years ago, and now you have the Owen Heller-led Pirates who have started 6-1 and have been great so far.
Definitely being led by Owen Heller there on that offense. And you can't forget about senior running back Matt Biscardi, who's been almost like a Derrick Henry kind of guy for this Pirates team so far this year.
I mean, definitely. I could not agree more. The Pirates have been beyond impressive to start the season and taking through a lot of opponents in very tough situations, including weather.
Jake, what are you talking about? It's football. Rain, shine, snow, hail. I think it's fair to bet that the Pirates will be out on the field ready to compete at all times.
Well, if we're just going to be listing conditions, just a few weeks ago, they were not ideal. The boys hosted Calhoun in a district rivalry game that, of course, B&B captured in its entirety. So let's take a look at the recap of the Mepham Pirates versus the Calhoun Colts. In a game where the teams are maybe 5 minutes away from another, it's clear that there was a little bit of fire within the Mepham Pirates.
I couldn't agree more. It's always a great time to watch when those two BMCHSD schools face off.
You know, Maxwell, it's no secret that the boys are passionate about what they do. But my question is how passionate? Like, what is it that they even say to each other while playing?
Actually, I think I may know. In fact, we sent out Jacob Arduli and the rest of the BMB crew to one of their practices to capture all of the precise communication or candid conversations. Here's Mic'd Up.
Oh, no, me. Tell your mic? Yeah, tell the mic what your dog did in my shoe.
My dog ate Cameron's Easy Slide.
Hell no, man. What the
But he's too cute to be mad at.
Yeah, that's. What is your favorite football team?
New York Jets.
And why is that?
Because they're the greatest.
All right.
It's a good song.
You know, I never knew Owen and the rest of the team were such singers.
So what? I know you were planning on going to karaoke with the team.
Well, no, I wasn't. Sorry. But just something I picked up on.
Well, Jake, this goes without saying, but I think Owen and the rest of the team have a lot of more talents than just singing.
Well, why not put that to the test?
Jake, where are you going with this?
Well, after proving his skills last month, we doubled down this time, sending Kyle McQuillan out to the field to test his routes against Mepham senior receiver Jake Classy. Here's this month's installment of The View.
Thanks, Jake and Maxwell. I'm out here on the Mepham Football field with Jake Classy. Now, Jake, tell me how it's been this year playing as a wide receiver and a defensive back.
You know, it's been great so far. We came off of a tough season last year. You know, me and a lot of the seniors, we took charge, and we're looking good for the playoffs. Defensively, we had 5 shutouts this season. Offensively, we're starting to get the ball moving, and I can confidently say I've been locked down.
All right, well, you will not be going lockdown anymore because it's going to end here right now. Let's put that to the test. Let's go.
There's no cutting. I need cleats, bro.
I get burned out here. This is unfair. Damn.
We're even.
You think you're slipping? You gotta get outside. Okay. No! I'm so close! No! Oh no! Nowhere! Nowhere! Ah! No! Wait, that's out. That's out. Are you serious? That is out of bounds.
Check the footage. Did I get the toes in?
No! Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Yeah, I couldn't do it any other way. Hey, good game. Haven't ran that much in a while.
Great matchup.
Hey,
I give you respect.
of course. Hey, great game all around. Hey, thanks for the passes.
I feel like you can benefit both of us.
Probably could. I'll make it faster. I'll probably beat you then. So, got a few more questions. You guys just have an amazing season so far. You have Long Beach this Saturday. How's the season been going on? How's it going to elevate when you reach playoffs?
I think a big part is definitely our senior leadership. We've been stepping up all season, leading the team. I think, especially for playoffs, we're all going to have to rally around each other and really lead this team because we have big hopes and big aspirations, and I think that with the senior leadership, we can accomplish those.
All right, and one more question I got. You being a QB, you being a wide receiver, how is this strong connection working so well when you guys play?
Yeah, well, I'll start here. You know, we've been playing ball since we were in middle school when we met each other. You know, coming in the field, Grand Avenue Field, Mepham Field, just throwing the ball around. You know, that definitely builds the confidence that he has in me. That I know where the ball's gonna be placed, so I can go up there and make a play.
Yeah, pretty much what Jake said. We've been friends for a really long time, so off the field, we've always had that connection, and it kind of just, it happens on the field because you're just so close to one another that it's just bound to happen on the field.
Yeah, all those true friendships create strong chemistry all in general. Well, that's all I have out here with Jake and Owen. Thank you guys for coming out here today. Now back to Jake and Maxwell in the studio.
With the regular season coming to an end, the senior connection could not be looking any better.
I couldn't agree more. And that's one of the most important things leading to the postseason. Having a veteran receiver who's almost always open and a talented quarterback who can get him the ball.
Well, Owen's been doing it all season as the quarterback. Number 16 has been the anchor of an impressive Pirates offense. So tell me, what has his presence receiving the snap given to the team?
I think his presence has been everything. He is the heart and soul of this Mepham team as the senior. I mean, and he showed it in his New Hyde Park game a few weeks ago. He had 3 total touchdowns and an incredible game, just riding them to that shutout win. And he was doing it all season, having maybe one of his best seasons across all sports, lacrosse, basketball, and football. He has 1,000 yards of total of all-purpose yards already and 12 touchdowns to only 1 interception. He's been incredible.
Well, with how he's been getting in the end zone, I think it's about time that he works on his touchdown celebration.
Wait, but this is high school. Aren't you not really allowed to celebrate?
Now that you mention it, I'm not all that sure, but there may be a way to get more clarity. I think Nikki Saraceni may be able to help us out. Here comes sports commentary.
That celebration was so unnecessary. I think it's so unsportsmanlike when players do that.
Oh, come on. I was just trying to do what all the NFL players used to do. I see it all over social media.
Why would you want to imitate the NFL players? Their celebrations were disrespectful to the other teams, and players today are getting suspensions for acts that are viewed as highly offensive. Players are even getting fined up to $16,000, and it's becoming more and more for each celebration.
Yeah, I know, but I always thought the celebrations were just something to get their team excited and amped up. If players can high-five and cheer, why shouldn't they be able to celebrate a touchdown?
Well, it becomes too much. It's to the point where it felt like it's more taunting and disrespecting than actually cheering. Celebrations are meant to amp up a team and glorify a touchdown, nothing more, nothing less. And years ago, players would even rehearse their celebrations off the field. But is this really what players should be focused on? Shouldn't they be focused on knowing plays, communicating with the team, and waiting for the next opportunity?
That's a good point, but I still think it's a part of the game. Besides, what can we really do to stop taunting? No player's just going to stop because someone said their celebrations are getting out of hand.
Well, what about when officials offer a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct? The players have no real choice but to listen.
What do you mean a penalty?
You don't know? Players can be suspended from games for celebrating or issued warnings. If there's a risk that they may not play a game or two in a season that doesn't consist of many games to begin with, they would be more inclined to shy away from celebrations.
I don't know. Why? That would take away a huge element of football. Where do you draw the line at that point? Are players not allowed to huddle, or high-five their teammates, or would be that taken away too? I just don't think it's worth to trying to change something that has been important for years and keeping morale high for decades.
You know what? You're right. When watching games, I've noticed that teams with louder benches and fans often feel more positive and motivated, and they play better than teams that are silent.
It's an energy effect. But while some celebrations are too much or are used to waste time, it should have to be obvious that the celebrations are mocking other people and is disrespecting opponents, or that it's delaying games in order for players to face consequences for celebrating.
As long as the players, coaches, and officials come to a clear consensus about what's over the top and what is permitted, I think it makes the most sense to only give players a penalty for celebrations that are unsportsmanlike.
Good. Does that mean I can practice my appropriate touchdown celebration?
Not right now. You actually have to catch the ball first.
It's really crazy to think about how they put so much rules and regulations on such a small part of the game.
You know, on second thought, maybe celebrating isn't the best thing they should focus on when trying to make a deep playoff push.
Really? Well, I'm glad you think so. Then what do you think is more important?
I think the most important thing for this Pirates team is going to be winning the games in the trenches. You know, they have good size on their team, and winning in the front seven, you know, really on the O-line and D-line, you know, that's going to be a priority, I think, for them to win these games like they have been all season, you know, maybe facing a tough team like Cary again or even Long Beach next week.
I mean, yeah, they have their last game of the regular season against Long Beach, which B&B will have all its cameras out, so make sure you tune in But I think a win in that game will carry over into the playoffs. And a loss, well, who knows? They've looked like the better team all year, but it really only takes one game.
Yeah, definitely. I think, bringing a win into that game will be big for the playoff push, securing a home playoff game and, a lot of momentum going into that playoff push.
Well, I guess only time will tell for these Pirates. So, while the boys are hard at work here on the Mepham turf, there's so much to look forward to in the bigger picture. So, let's take a look at all that's happening in the world of sports.
First, what's everybody talking about? It's the World Series. Only this time in the West Coast versus the East Coast, and the first two games went fully in the Dodgers' favor. First, in the game one, coming down to the final batter, where after an intentional walk for Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman took the first pitch he saw right out of the field. An emotional win and a historic walk-off grand slam. Game two is no different, swaying to the way of the Dodgers, where a pair of back-to-back home runs would catapult the team over the Yankees, even though they tried to make a late push.
Next, what a time to be alive for sports fans who's in the midst of a sports equinox. Every top professional sport is active, whether it's in their championship game, mid-season form, or even their first week of action. For the next week especially, there will never not be a game to watch. So invite some friends over and enjoy the annual best time of the year for sports fans. Jake, I really cannot wait to go home for a little, turn on the game, whether it's Knicks, Giants, World Series. I have so much to choose from.
Well, you're a little too soon. We still have one more segment to go before we wrap up this month's episode.
Of course, and it's one of my favorites too. It's time for the B&B Play of the Month, where we show you the best play that our cameras were able to capture.
What a game for the junior running back, touching the painted grass 3 times. Especially congratulations to Lenny Achan.
Well, when the weather isn't in your favor, you're forced to look to the run game. And fortunately for Mepham, Lenny and the rest of the Pirates answered the call and more.
We talk about all the seniors, but the junior presence on the team is just as important, especially down the stretch.
I couldn't agree more, Maxwell. And as the season gets closer and closer to playoffs, the Pirates are going to have to focus on maintaining that chemistry that's gotten them this far in the season.
Well, I guess only time will tell.
Does that mean our time here is done?
Unfortunately, it does. So that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to this month's episode of Sports Talk.
Be on the lookout for way more as we come and take you into a deeper dive for almost each and every Mepham sports teams throughout the year.
But until then, I've been Jake Maxwell.
And I'm Jake Manno. Have a great night, everyone.